requires a formal introduction. You've heard them, you've seen them, you've watched them. They've been here, they've shared their story, their journey. But I'm going to frame who these people are for me. You see, I've sat where you're sitting many, many years ago. And like you, I too had an aspiration to be more than I was. And regardless of what I was doing, what I was born to do and or do with it, I really was moved, touched, and inspired by people just like this. Now, with that said, I've got to tell you, what's crazy is that this panel, I've never seen assembled ever before. These are people who are doing the work, who have done great things, and are literally moving mountains. And some of you have seen them today. So we're going to hear from David Meltzer, we're going to hear more from John Lee, but there's some others I want to introduce you to so that you understand the context for what we've got. So why don't we welcome up the entire panel for a moment, and I'll tell you who they are. Let's give them a warm welcome. A warm welcome. Now, I know we've got James Orsini, we've got Andrea Sullivan, and I mean, they're partners, co-founders of Vive, and I don't need to tell you about the fact that they've really, in fact, reinvented the way VaynerMedia, in fact, rolled and rocked and made itself very current and cool. But more importantly, we also just heard from our dear friend over here, Darin Adams. And I've got to say, he did a tremendous job on reminding me how to send an email and be effective in doing so. So thank you for the reminder. And I mean that, by the way. David, did you get my email? We're going to get started, and I want to get right to it, because like I said before, it's really rare you get the chance of seeing people who are up to the kind of work that this room inspired and is aspiring to, in fact, do it before. But the question I wanted to start with, for all of you, and I'll start with you, David, if you don't mind, because I'm looking at first, and it's important to get started. A lot of people in this room have begun a journey, and a lot of them are already either formulating their belief systems, already defining what leadership means to them, but you've been at this for many years. And given your belief systems that you've had on leadership when you first started, 80 years ago, what I want to know is what belief did you have?
How many people were willing to follow that? And it's completely shifted the paradigm to what type of intelligent follower am I to be a leader? And so I think, taking on that responsibility as a leader to learn more, to be intelligent about following the right people, and then articulating to others what you're learning from the great leaders who you're learning from. So being an intelligent follower, to me, is being a great leader.
Darin, how about you? Because you're a man that understands the magic and the mystery behind marketing. I know leadership has been a very different subject for you, but you're causing and creating leaders right now in the world by design.
Yeah, I think so often when we think about leaders, we think we're gonna direct someone, we're gonna tell someone what to do, and we're gonna basically, the more you can boss someone around, that was what I used to think. The more you can boss someone around and tell someone what to do, the better leader you are. I really realized it's the more you can help those people be successful in whatever way that might be. That's really what leadership is seeing those people succeed at whatever task they have to do, regardless of whatever. It's not bossing, it's not whatever. It's finding what their strengths are and how to channel that to help them be successful.
Well, listen, same question for you, John Lee. And what's amazing for you is that in the world of AI, the space in which you're a professional prowess type of person in, AI is being reinvented every minute. Everything we spoke about this morning is now dated. So leadership might be moving even faster for a person like you. How would you address the same question? What beliefs about leadership did you enter the business of training the world on how to apply and implement what they need to know about the future of technology? How's it shifted for you? What did you have to give up or let go of?
So I think first of all, leadership is leading by example, right? You can't just expect someone to do it. Like I can't expect someone to vibe code something if I've never vibe coded something myself, right? And I'm going to tell you now more than ever, you heard what Jim was saying, you've got to learn to earn to return. And that's exactly what the leadership is. I can't teach my team to upskill if I don't upskill. Even though I'm at a level where I am right now, it's pretty comfortable. But I've got to be able to know what to do in order to guide people what to do. And I think the biggest mistake we make is, oh yeah, I know everything. Yeah, I've got enough. But we never stop learning. So leadership to me is to be the ultimate student. When the student is ready, the master will show.
I love that. Speaking of masters, let's give them a round of applause for sure. I mean, Andrea, I read both yours and James's bio, and then I went to bed. And then I processed everything.
Was that bad?
Well, it was that long. It was so incredible. So for you guys, I can't wait to get to you two, because the kind of people you are, the businesses that you've built, and the people you've transformed, like the Gary Vaynerchuks of the world, like, this has got to be a tough question for you, because who you are today with leadership and a belief system has got to be different from where you first started. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think it's interesting to work with somebody that's like a Gary Vaynerchuk, right, that has such an amazing following and really drives people in different ways. I worked with corporate big company leaders my entire career. Now I'm a solo entrepreneur. Actually, I'm not solo. I'm with this fine gentleman to my right. But to have the confidence to become a different type of leader, an entrepreneur, working on their own, I had to overcome a lot of fears. I'd always helped in building other people's brands, but had never gotten out there and done it for myself. And I was really inspired, David, by what you shared today, the whole idea that if we can all be in service of something that's much bigger than ourselves, to embrace faith and to almost reframe the fear that you might have and turn it into something where you're helping others. That was something that personally really helped me a lot, and is hopefully going to be guiding my leadership journey.
And by the way, Gary is very influential. I bought a pair of running shoes and I started drinking red wine from a box, all because of his post. And I just want to say thank you to you for the great effective marketing. But James, it was your bio that really I needed a nap after. I mean, if you ever have a chance, please write it down right now. James Orsini, you've got to investigate this man. There should be a biopic on you, like an 18-part series, because you're a tremendous icon in the space. Tell me, of all what you know about leadership, what did you have to shed in your belief system?
I had to shed the notion that nice guys finish last, because that's untrue. It's just not true.
Is that a compliment to me, or are we talking about ourselves?
You'll have to tell me. Leaders listen more than they speak. Good leaders listen to their people, to their employees, to their customers, to their clients, and to their gut. And before they actually talk more and listen to themselves, you know what I mean? Understanding, Gary talks about kindness and empathy and gratitude, and really kind candor. So even sharing bad news with your employees is something that you could do in a gentle and constructive way.
Well, James, you're a living demonstration of listening to your gut, because you tried to retire and then you had to come back. And the market here appreciates that you're back, because as you had said earlier today, dear sir, you said it with such incredible strength and honor that it's wisdom that these folks are here for. Yes, would you not agree? So let's welcome them back to the title. Let's put some pressure on James to make that mic back over to David as I make this rotation. David, here I'm going to prepare you for this quick question, and it's going to be a tough one. When you think about the leverage that you have as a current leader in this economy, I mean, making posts, delivering content, inspiring people, what's the one thing we often overlook in the positions we're on, the positions we're in, that we never really, in fact, would take the full benefit of? Is there any levers that are available to us fellow leaders that we overlook and don't fully engage?
The truth. The truth vibrates the fastest, and I think everyone continually tries to capture their truth. And one of the things when you understand frequency in essence is that when you're vibrating, you're at your truth, not somebody else's, not what's missing, not what you don't have, not what social media wants for you. But when truly you learn, and people call it vulnerability, I just call it the truth. When you're vibrating and you're comfortable just capturing what you think, feel, believe, and say every day, then what's going to happen is 10% of the people now who love you automatically will be your tribe or your vibe. The 10% that are going to hate you, and they will automatically, are going to protect and promote you, because they're going to be out there telling people, oh, you know, Dave Meltzer thinks you can talk to water and change the molecular structure of water by talking to it. And they're going to say, yeah, I believe that. Fuck Dave Meltzer, right? But most of people, exactly, most of people don't know who Dave Meltzer is, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, I actually believe that. I believe you could talk to water and change the molecular structure. Who is this Dave Meltzer guy? I like him. But when you try to be everything to everyone, or you try to be what's missing, what you don't have, what you think other people want you to be, you're never going to get the community to be a true leader, because I'd much rather, and it took me many years and millions of dollars to figure this out, of therapy, I would rather people not like me for who I am than love me for who I'm not.
Hallelujah. I want to just say something, and you hold those applause for one moment, because this is
Because it was gonna come, I know, eventually.
this is cool though, and I know James will agree and Andrea will agree, and given the experience of this whole team, because thanks to David, on average, I mean, there's 300 years of experience up here in leadership development and human betterment, yeah. But we all find our story and we all want to tell it. We know that to be the authentic truth. But who here saw this morning a man moved by his own truth, in love with his own story, and passionate about sharing that vulnerable self? Because I think the new Invincible is the new vulnerable. And to be vulnerable is the